Hello and welcome back, my lovely peeps, to a new video. Today I'll be reading you a fanfiction, or more of a one-shot, of Peter Parker X reader, aka listener, aka you, my lovely peeps. I hope you enjoy this type of content, and if you would like to see more, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and also comment if you have any characters you would want to hear about. And yeah, I'll be just starting here. To clarify, in the summary, it says you have been in a relationship with Peter for almost 2 years, and he finally decided it's time to pop the question. And also, it's time for you to meet Tony in person. A A4 note is stated here. In this story, Tony adopted Peter after his aunt died. Just a little info so you don't get confused. Also, this story is completely gender neutral, so everyone can enjoy this one. Okay, just a clarification. I've never done this type of reading, so I'm very sorry if I stutter or anything like that. This is a completely unedited version because I thought that it would give the video a little hint of normality. You know, it seems more natural. Peter called you in the middle of the night to tell you that he's on his way to pick you up. You were already sitting on your couch in your pajamas, but you got up to change. It was almost normal for you to have these situations, since Peter always tries to surprise you, even when you're least expecting it. You thought it was cute, even if it was this late. You put on some casual clothes and grabbed everything you needed, like keys and your wallet, and made your way outside of your apartment. To your surprise, he was already standing in front of you. Hey, you wanted to ask him if he was okay, since he was trying to catch his breath like he just ran a marathon. But you guessed he would tell you anyways. So, I might have been in a fight and, well, I just thought about you and you stopped him and smiled. Peter, darling, just tell me what happened. Slowly, you said as your boyfriend gave you a smile back. So, when I was fighting these criminals, one of them asked me why I would risk my life and what my loved ones would say, and it kind of got me thinking, and he sighed before looking at you with his puppy eyes. You couldn't help it but to awe at that sight. I want you to meet Tony. You mean the absolute word to me, and I finally want to let my loved ones know each other. He said it with such a calm voice that it made you realize that there was something more that he didn't want to say. But you've known him for years, and you could tell that he was scared of something. Alright, you know I would do anything for you, sweetheart. His face lit up again as you placed a hand on his cheek. You gave him a small kiss on the forehead before your boyfriend grabbed you around your waist and pulled you closer to him. He pulled out his phone and called someone who you understand was called Happy. And before you knew it, just minutes after, there was a car standing in front of your house. Peter took your hand and got into the car. It started to drive and you leaned your head against Peter's shoulder, still holding his hand tightly as he looked outside the window. We're here, he softly said as the car stopped at a street. When you both got out, you saw the Stark Tower, and to be completely honest, it was intimidating, but you would do anything for Peter. And well, what's the worst that could happen? When you arrived with the elevator, you could smell fresh food in the air and hear faint sounds of someone humming a song, which you recognized as an AC/DC song. Peter led you into a big room that you were sure was the living room. He didn't let go of your hand as you looked around. Tony? Dad? He called out for the genius, who happened to be around the corner when he turned his head towards you two. Peter, hey, didn't know you were coming, he said softly as he walked towards you and stopped in front of you. He eyed you up and down before holding out his hand while smiling. You must be right. Peter always talks about you. Sometimes it's all he talks about. Nice to finally meet you, the person that makes my son so happy. He said the first part with a bit of annoyance in his voice, before softening again, and looking over to Peter. His face was flushing red at the last part. It's also an honor to meet you, Mr. Stark, you said sweetly as you gave Peter's hand a soft squish to make him look at you. You couldn't resist but to smile when you looked at the bright red face of your sweet boyfriend. Do you want to eat something? I've ordered in some really delicious food. You're going to love it, he said as he led you two towards a table full of different food, and also many of your favorites. Wow, it looks amazing, Peter exclaimed as he slowly let go of your hand to sit down. But before he did so, he pulled your chair out and made sure that you sat comfortably. Sweetheart, are you coming? Tony called out before a beautiful blonde woman entered the room with a very nice jumpsuit on. Explanation: a jumpsuit looks like a dress, but actually is a top and some pants. She walked towards you and gave you a big and soft hug before introducing herself. Nice to finally meet you. I'm Pepper. She gave you a big smile before Tony mentioned, and also Mrs. Stark, my incredible wife. She gave him a little eye roll before she seated herself next to him. You all shared a lot of laughs, talking about Peter's clumsiness, and Peppa telling you about the story, how they met each other. And all in all, it was a great dinner. After all of you finished eating, it was time. Peter couldn't wait any longer and just wanted to finally ask you. He took your hand and smiled. I want to show you something. He walked outside with you onto the balcony. The view was fantastic, and the moment was just right. We've been through so much in these last 2 years. You were there for me when my aunt died, and you helped me through my darkest times, and never questioned when I came to your house with bruises and cuts. All you ever did was give me your love and time, and I really wish I could repay you for how much you gave me. And he stopped to look at you. You stood in front of him with teary eyes and a soft smile that made him feel easy again. He took your hands and looked deep into your eyes, not letting go of your hands. I wanted to ask you this for so long, and I just can't wait any longer. You mean the world to me, and I can't imagine what my life would look like without you, my darling. He let one of your hands go as he kneeled down and pulled out a little box out of his pocket. You were shaking. You couldn't think straight. It was like all your emotions overran you at once. You loved Peter more than anything. You knew what was about to happen. It was like time had stopped when you saw him kneeling down. Will you marry me? He looked at you with his puppy dog eyes, the but filled with tears. You started to cry as you got on your knees and hugged him tightly. Yes, I do, you said while pulling away to look into his eyes. When he heard your answer, the tears ran down his face. He couldn't be happier than right now in this moment. All the worries he had before vanished in that moment. He pulled you into a hug once more before he opened the little box and put the ring on your finger. You placed your hands on the sides of his face and kissed him. You two shared a soft and long kiss before you both parted. What you didn't realize before was that there was clapping coming from the inside. Tony and Pepper watched you two the whole time and gave you proud looks. When you both stood up, they walked over to you and hugged you. I'm so happy for you two, Pepper said as she let go of you. Tony held out his hand before laughing and hugging you tightly. Welcome to the Stark family. After Peter brought you back home again, you two sat on your stairs, just letting the days slowly pass by. I didn't sleep for days because I was so worried that I would mess this up. I'm so happy to finally be with you and make my own little family. He said it softly as he looked at you with an adorable dark smile. From now on, you'll get enough sleep. I should be really mad at you for that, but gosh, you make me so happy, you said as you leaned your head against his shoulder, letting out a soft sigh. Idiot. Well, I'm your idiot, he said as he kissed your hand, on which your ring was. He looked back at the sky and sighed peacefully. You should go back. Your dad might get worried. I'd rather stay with my incredible partner, he said softly before he lifted you up bridal style and carried you inside of your home. This was all he ever dreamed of, having you in his arms, knowing that you two will have a long future together. From this night on, you were a part of the Stark family, and that made you feel welcome in their home. Peter was the happiest man because of you. Tony and Pepper, of course, planned the wedding, and it was a big event. Even if only family, friends, and your and Peter's friends were invited. At your wedding day, you two were more than nervous, but when it was over, it was the best day of your two lives. You were finally his official partner. You were a Parker. This story was called Well, I'm Your Idiot. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you all next time.